Welcome to another edition of Insurance Questions Podcast. Wow, we got a big one today. It's potluck with Donnie Lowe, and we've been getting away from doing business on Thursday, but holy cow, wait till you hear what Donnie and I have to say today. And by the way, the comments and statements by Eddie Buffalo and Donnie Lowe are purely for entertainment purposes. Do your thing, Donnie. Do your sassy Sarah.
I sure will. So just wherever you listen or view the podcast, share. You don't have to download, but hit that
You
fan
can if
mail
you
button.
want to.
You can
I
if you
want to
want
get
to,
paid, Donnie. Have them download that stuff. Yeah.
and just hit that fan mail button so that we can correspond back and forth with you. TikTokers, of course. Eddie loves the TikTok, so
I do. I do. In fact,
so
let's do one real quick.
yeah. Oh, sure. We're gonna do a TikTok live right
Yeah,
now.
let's make you a little bit larger, Donnie, so you can see me in the back. Can you see me? Hopefully, I can see you.
Can I hear you now?
Yeah, this is pretty exciting, and you're going to hear a little bit about the tease I'm going to do right now on TikTok. Hey, whoops, no, I messed that up.
Try again. Redo.
Hey, it's your buddy Eddie Buffalo and the
Donnie
one and
Lowe.
only Donnie Lowe. We are right in the middle. We just got started taping our podcast on Bitcoin and crypto, and hang on, it's a doozy.
Absolutely.
So make sure you tune in Thursday when it airs. Make sure what day is today, Don? Is this Tuesday? Taco Tuesday today, so make sure you watch Tax Tips with Sarah. And but Thursday, make sure you tune in. It's going to be a doozy. So remember, life's worth living. I mean, look at that face. He's so cute. Life's worth living. Be good to yourself, folks. And make sure you watch Insurance Questions Podcast. It's well worth watching. And we're pretty funny, too.
Yeah.
Right. So, Donnie, this was your idea today. I mean, we were using, and I don't want to say Thursdays were a throwaway game day, but Thursday we were having fun with.
Oh, yeah.
We were
Talk
doing
about
popular
music,
stuff.
food.
Right. And I got to be honest with you, people really liked it. So that's why we continued to do it. But, and I'm sure, and I can see it in your face, Don, when I say, so Don, what's the topic? And it's like, I'll think of one.
I'll think of a good one.
Don, did you do your homework? Yeah. I love you, Donnie. I don't know why you put up with my nonsense.
Me too.
Text posted. We went down the rabbit hole a little bit here. What made you want to talk about this today, Don? What really got you going that you thought we need to do another Bitcoin show and crypto show?
Yeah, because we haven't really talked about it, and it's been in the news quite a bit, and
It has.
The Bitcoin aspect of cryptocurrency has been going up and down, up and down, up and down. So right now it's just it's between $56,000 and $57,000 per coin right now.
I thought you hit me at 56,842 today.
Yep. And as we let me just switch my screen here.
I think I have to do that calculation over, Don.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's changing. So right now it's 56,605. So it's in flux right now. Mm-hmm. But so a couple things. I just saw some interesting information, and the FBI. This is according to an AP news article. The FBI is talking about how much money Americans lost due to fraud schemes and scams in 2023. Do you have any idea about how much money was lost due to scams, Ed?
Billions, I'm guessing.
5.6 billion in 2023. That's a 45% increase in losses due to scams from 2022.
And by the way, Don, that number we were talking about, it's coming up an error on Microsoft too.
Oh
So
my
it's like
gosh.
giving you a guesstimate. It's going to blow your socks off when we start talking. So go ahead, Don. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I know, I know. So, so there's, there's, I guess about 70 million complaints of either with Bitcoin,
Did you say
Ethereum,
million?
excuse me, 70,000
I was like,
complaints.
wow.
Yeah, no,
Holy
70,000
cow.
complaints. Thank you. Of Bitcoin or Ethereum or other cryptocurrencies. So the FBI is saying, and this is where it's kind of like partially political, partially, you know, pro government control or anti government control. So the FBI is saying that this large amount of scams is because cryptocurrency is decentralized. It's just the nature of it.
Yeah.
And they said that's one of the reasons. Number two is the speed of irreversible transactions. So if
Mhm.
you get hacked, by the time you find it, it's too late. You can't
Well,
do
we've
anything
talked
about it.
about that, Don. And like, I mean, you got money in the bank, FDIC will cover 250 grand per account. But this is nothing. I mean, especially, and we even talked about online banking, the same thing. Your
Right.
money's gone. Your money's gone. You're out
Yeah,
of luck.
exactly. Exactly. And that's another thing, it's because it's the ability to transfer the value of the currency around the world is so easy based on the way it's set up because it's decentralized.
Do they talk anything in these things that you're talking about money laundering at all, Don?
No, not yet. I think you mean for our annual course requirements.
I'm just thinking that this got to be a huge way to launder money by buying Bitcoin in another country,
It's
especially if you have a VPN on your computer or your phone. They don't know you're in the United States. We're not telling you how to do this, guys.
uh,
I'm just saying that that's one of the first things because I mean we are so regulated in our industry that I think that's why we haven't done anything in Bitcoin yet, to be quite honest with you. Not that they haven't probably looked at it, but I don't think they figured out a way to regulate it until the government does something with it to regulate it. I mean,
uh,
that's my thought, Don. How about you?
well, I mean, and that's the thing though, because there are a lot of people that want the regulation and a lot of people that don't want it, and that's what makes it so appealing to them. Is that
Hmm.
it's not regulated or controlled. When we say regulated, we really mean controlled by the
Yeah.
government. So there's people on both sides of the fence.
Uh,
Um, but I was going to say it's interesting because in this article they talk about how do scammers make contact with people so they can scam them, right, to get the Bitcoin or the crypto. And believe it or not, typically it's through something like a dating app or some
I believe
some
it.
form of social media. So what the scammers try to do is they try to build up some trust with whomever they're going to try to scam, and they'll take a couple weeks to do that, to build up that trust.
Don, it's happened to me.
I was thinking about that.
It did because I mean, I'm with a nice young lady right now, but in between, I did go in the dating apps, and I'm not going to go into numbers, but you know how many people I've seen,
Yeah,
but you don't know about the people that I didn't meet.
yeah,
That and I don't want to, rip apart a certain part of the population, but it seemed like it was always somebody from China or Hong Kong that oh blah 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 this and that and hey, would you like to do a side hustle with Bitcoin? Every time it was almost like it was a formula, you
well,
know.
it's interesting. Did you read this article? Because this is
No, I lived it, Don.
yeah.
I lived it.
So that's what they say is that so they'll try to get to know you over the course of a couple weeks, make
Hmm.
kind of you let your guard down, and then they kind of introduce or suggest, hey, have you done any cryptocurrency investing?
Oh
And then
yeah.
they might, what they do is they use a fake website or an app and say, well, here,
Oh,
just
and
try it.
Donnie, I dated the rainbow. No, 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 guys. I'm an ally. I only like women, so don't get excited about that. But and I would after I've got burned twice. I'm like, oh no. If I see a very pretty Asian girl. I'm running the other direction just because I know where it's going.
Yeah,
Not saying
exactly.
it's all going to be like that, but like I said, when they start saying the same things and doing the same things, you're like, holy cow, I can't believe this is
Isn't that
happening again.
crazy? It's so
Yeah.
crazy. So they use these
Yeah.
fake websites or apps,
Mhm.
and sometimes they even like let you make a little bit of money,
Mhm.
and then boom, they just take everything. It's
Oh, and they always
crazy.
talk big numbers. Hey, Don, guess what? Yesterday I put in $500,000 and I made like $73,000 the next day. You want to do that, right?
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's enticing,
Little
but
did they know I don't have any money. Ha ha! Jokes on them.
so that's true. It's
But I
true.
mean, it even got to the point where, and I hate to say it, it happens on TikTok. I have to be very nice to everybody because you don't really know until you know. It's
Yeah,
like it's fun until it's not fun type deal. It's like hey, I'm Donnie Lowe. Nice to meet you. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, thank you for following us. And, hey, you know anything about crypto? Would you like to know about it? And it's like over and over and over again, you see it on TikTok.
yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
And I never expected that at all on TikTok, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I know, and I guess that's probably some of the concerns that the government has. It's,
Hmm.
especially that it's Chinese owned and all that too. But
Well, it's
regard,
funny because we went down that rabbit hole because before we got on, I said, "Hey Don, what do you want to talk about?" And you go, "I mean, I only thing I really want to talk about is China." And you're like, "Why?" And then we started looking at numbers. So you said that today, um, Bitcoin is trading, not Bitcoin, crypto, or did you say Bitcoin? Which one is it?
the trading value.
The
Yeah, well, that was
56,842.
Bitcoin and
Okay,
specifically
Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin's
56,000.
at 56,842. So I'm going to lead up to this, Don. I am a little teased here. So I don't know why they mention it. Probably because of what's going on right now, and that they are getting so much money from different countries. But the Ukraine has 2.6 billion in Bitcoin
That's crazy.
right now. Right now. And China, first of all, this is crazy. China does not allow their citizens to trade in crypto or Bitcoin,
Right.
but they own 190,000 Bitcoins for a total value of 10,799
No.
10,000 $10,799,880,000 worth of Bitcoin this morning.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy.
it gets worse. Don, we kept on going down that rabbit hole.
I
Like,
know.
so the one company you're talking about, I don't want to say it because, I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, if I was going to mess around with Bitcoin, I'd probably go talk to these guys because they got so many. So they have 1.1 billion Bitcoins, Don. And so
1.1 billion or million?
1.1 billion Bitcoins.
Oh my
And
god.
so we were messing around like we're old school. So I have this on my desk. My old, this is worthless when you're talking about those numbers. I'm like, oh, I'll get smart. I'll use the one on the computer. It won't. So I screwed up. So I put in 1.1 billion Bitcoin, and instead of the 56,842, I put in the Ukrainian amount of Bitcoin that they had, the 46,351,
Okay.
which gave me that crazy number we were talking about, 50,986,100,000,000. I mean, Dr. Evil, he'd be a great Bitcoin miner. Yeah. And so I tried to fix that error that I did. I'm like, oh well, it's actually 56,842. The computer on the calculator on the computer won't even let you do that. I wonder if we use Google, if I could do that. Let me see if I can find
You
it.
could try that.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, just to touch base on the scams and the fraud that's out there. So, say you got scammed, you invested however much money into some Bitcoin, and then you realize, oh my God, I was scammed. Well, these people, they set up, you know, sham businesses to say, well, they target people that have been scammed from cryptocurrency and telling you that they'll help you get your money back. So they kind of double wham you.
So I'm gonna wait for you to quit talking, but when you're done with your whatever you're
No,
talking about,
yeah, that's all
because
I
I
wanted to say
want to
about
do
the
this in
scam.
live time so people can see how ridiculous this is. Okay, so they have 1 billion. Whoops, 1,100,000,000. 1, 2, 3. That's
There
one
you go.
trillion, right? Or one
Yep.
billion. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay. And so we multiply that by $56,842 equals. I don't even know what that means, Don. What does the E stand for on that? Times the 13 power? What does that even mean? I mean, it's so crazy that I thought I was doing something wrong, but the number's so ridiculously large, they don't even know what to
I
do with it.
I think that is to the trillion, right? 6.252 trillion,
What's the
maybe.
E for then?
I don't know.
Okay, all our people out there that are math whizzes, let's call Al. She's taking the accounting course. Maybe she'll know.
Well, don't bother her if she's in the course right now in the class.
No, no, she's at work. I'll bother her at work.
Oh,
I always
bother
do.
at work. There you
I
go.
always do. She's starting to be a regular on our show, Donnie Lowe.
I know.
I know. So I'm gonna leave up my calculator just in case she knows what to do.
So you're calling for live help in this situation.
Yeah, she's probably busy because she's not answering. I'll call other smart people. Okay.
While you're trying to call, I think, Ed, we can just safely say it's a huge number.
Yes.
But I think a lot of people may or may not know this, that in January of this year, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, pretty much approved to have Bitcoin in ETFs. So, meaning that large companies, BlackRock, Fidelity, they can let you
And
have a
you can
portfolio.
say you can say what the name of that company is because people are going to figure it out.
Well, there's a couple different companies we were talking about, um, but anyway, you can have Bitcoin in an IRA or an investment portfolio through a major company like BlackRock or Fidelity,
Yeah.
you know, which is pretty crazy. And Ethereum was also approved by the SEC in July of this year. So now you
Hmm.
can have both Bitcoin and Ethereum cryptocurrencies in a retirement portfolio. Now, just mention,
Hey, Don, hang on a
we're not
second.
authorized to
Hang on,
sell.
Don. Hang on, Don. Hang on, Don.
All right.
So, Al, do you have time to talk on the air real quick? I have an accounting question for you.
Sure.
Okay. So, is there a calculator online for large numbers? By the way, all the comments and statements by Allie Buffalo are purely for entertainment purposes. Because let me tell you my problem, Al. Okay, maybe you can put me in the right direction of what to do. All right.
Uh-huh.
So we're talking about Bitcoin this morning,
Okay.
and there is a company out there that look at Don. That number is out there. Write that down, Don, and start putting commas in, and we'll see what kind of number that is. Can you see it?
6,
Yes.
2, 5, 6.
So when you're working with large numbers like we're talking this morning, We're talking about a individual that owns 1.1 billion bitcoins at $56,842 as of right now, and the computer got stuck at 57 trillion, and then it gave us an error like an E. Do you know what that is?
No, but if you're working with numbers that large, I would drop all the zeros and just work with the 57.
Okay, so how many commas you got in there, Don?
I'm trying to I'm trying to count the zeros after that last two.
Mhm.
Well, how many is that? 1, 2. Because it's small on my screen.
Zeros. Yeah, I'll do that too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros, Al.
After the 2,
Uh-huh. So it's 6, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, and then add 8 zeros. So what number is that even? I'm going to do it for myself.
maybe
just
it's
to
a
look at it.
0.00.
I have no idea.
6
Well,
trillion.
what happens if I put the number in, Don?
That's
Will
what it
will that
is.
help?
It's 6 trillion
6, 2, 5,
252 billion
2, 3, 4,
620 million dollars. That's what it is.
You said trillion?
Yep.
So, okay, 100,000, million, billion. Oh, yeah, Don. So, Al, this Bitcoin company, the person, I don't know if it's a company or a person that actually owns it, owns $625 trillion.
No. 6 trillion.
Count them again, Don. Count them
Six-
again.
6 trillion 252 billion 620 million. The
You're
last
wrong,
two
Don.
zeros, it should be decimal point.
You're wrong, Don. If you count them again, I just did it twice. It's actually $625 trillion.
No way.
Count them again. You see them right on the screen.
Yeah, I know, but there's got to be an error. It can't be that much.
Well, that's what the Google calculator was telling us. So, Google, you're wrong, Don. Says Don knows everything.
What does
He knows it
Google
all.
know?
So,
It's a lot
Al,
of money.
how is your day going today?
Fine.
I'm sorry, you're the second accounting person that I tried to reach out to, and luckily I got you on the second try. So, Don, I want to have a show that Allie's doing, like when she drives on her way home or drives on her way to Niagara. She's very entertaining, and I think she should do that, don't you, Don?
Absolutely.
No.
I heard he checked out the tech on it, Al. We can actually do it. All right, so let me ask you this, Al. Okay. Because I know you've messed around with the stock market. You've messed around. Have you messed around with Bitcoin at all?
Not Bitcoin, but something like it.
Like it? Okay. So if I'm this dude, this company, well, whoever this is, that has $1.1 billion, and one day I just want to take my ball and I want to cash out, what is that going to do to the market?
I mean, the value is going to decrease, so that'll cause the stock to be pretty much worthless. If there's no money backing it, then there's no stock.
So do you feel warm and fuzzy about the opportunity if someone can do that?
I mean, unfortunately, our economic system is a capitalistic viewpoint. So technically, it's not illegal for them to do that, but it would be like morally and ethically wrong for them to do that.
Gotcha. So this is a very interesting talking point, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, because we were just messing around earlier today. I mean, the Ukraine owns 46,351 bitcoins. China has 190,000 bitcoins. I mean, you're looking at 2.6 billion for Ukraine and 10 billion for China. Holy cow, they're pikers compared to this company that has 1.1 billion friggin' Bitcoin. That you could totally wreck everything, couldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. So, all right. Thank you, Allie. I'm sorry to bother you while you're working hard, but we appreciate your contribution. Oh, I'm using the wrong word, Don. I appreciate you, Allie. That's why I appreciate you. So you have a wonderful day at Darien Lake, and I'll talk to you on your way to Niagara. Okay, honey?
All right, sounds good.
Thanks again.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
So, and that wasn't scripted. She didn't know I was going to call, and but that really blows my mind.
Yeah.
That
So,
truly-
well, we won't talk really numbers too much, but the top. Take a guess at who might own the top three, celebrity Bitcoin holders.
Oh, I don't know. Who is it?
So this is as of 2021.
Hmm.
Elon Musk.
How much he got?
Uh, doesn't say exactly.
Doesn't he own his own Bitcoin currency?
I don't know.
Yeah, he owns
But
Dogecoin, doesn't he?
I don't know if he owns that or not. Second is Jack Dorsey. Do you know who Jack Dorsey is?
I know the name.
He's the one. He founded Twitter.
Oh, yeah, I saw him. It's funny you say that. I saw him on a video. They
Oh,
were
really?
talking about him, yeah.
And then you'll never believe the other name that came up in my search here as number 3.
Donnie Lowe.
I wish. I wish.
Who?
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he's done a lot with his money, and he's big, and he sells a lot of marijuana too, legally.
Oh, really? That's
Who?
interesting.
What individual owns the most Bitcoin in the world?
Brian Armstrong.
Satoshi Nakamoto is widely believed to be the individual who owns the
Ah.
most Bitcoin in the world. As the anonymous creator of Bitcoin, Nakamoto is estimated to have mined a significant portion of the initial supply. However, it's important to note that this is a speculative estimate, and the exact number of Bitcoin owned by Nakamoto remains unknown.
So basically, I mean, it does make sense. The guy that invented it would own the most.
Yeah, it's saying he
They
owns.
have no idea how much this guy's got.
Well, according to this one, it's 1.1 million Bitcoin tokens,
Mhm.
and he's got it dispersed in about 22,000 different addresses.
Wow, that I'm not. That's my opinion. It sounds a little shady to me, but that's my opinion. Don't you don't have to listen to
Well,
everybody.
yeah. So here's another interesting little number: is the top 10 holders of Bitcoin. So we're only talking Bitcoin. They only hold about 5.6% of the entire Bitcoin supply as of this month.
But it's not infinite. There's an ending point. There's only X amount of bitcoins available, and then they're done.
Right, right. So, in some of the other research I did, every 4 years, Bitcoin basically it's done. It's called halving, halvin, halving
Having.
the mining reward. So they cut in half pretty much what they pay for people to mine or create the Bitcoin. So it goes from 6.25 to 3.125
Well,
that they
like
would
we were
pay.
talking, how expensive it is to mine Bitcoin now.
Yeah. So when
Just
they do
energy
that,
wise, equipment wise, time wise. That's funny. We looked at all that, but it didn't say, how much you value your time doing this.
yeah, yeah, true, true.
So interesting.
Yeah, so
But
it's crazy.
so did we get anything accomplished you wanted to today, Don, or are we just more like, oh my God, I can't believe all this stuff?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's so much out there, and it's so
Mhm.
much more to learn.
No matter what we talk about, it's just scraping the surface of this.
Oh, yeah. But I did find out that there are, throughout the world, how many different types of cryptocurrencies do you think there are
I
throughout the
couldn't
world?
even guess, Don.
2 million.
Really?
And it says, like some of them are valued from anywhere from hundreds of billions to worthless.
Wow. That's insanity.
Yeah,
That truly is.
I know. It's crazy. But
Just so
yeah,
anybody's wondering, well, that it is 11:43 here Central Time, and yesterday's episode is live on YouTube right now.
beautiful.
No, I'm lying. It's live on Spotify. It'll be on live on YouTube in 16 minutes. So, like it matters. No, we're not doing this live. No, everybody's going, what the heck's Eddie talking about? He's just
I
crazy.
know. It's like we already saw it.
Here, I'll start it so we can hear my voice again, Don. It's such an awesome thing to hear.
Yeah, in your mind.
Like, be quiet, Eddie. We know you're there. So, well, what else did you want to cover on this whole Bitcoin mining thing?
Well, I think here's an interesting fact. Take a guess what, I mean, it's really out of all the countries in the world, was the first country to make
Aren't you glad
Bitcoin
this isn't
illegal.
Sarah you're talking to?
tender.
Because she hates it when we ask her questions like this.
I know.
Okay, so ask me again, Don. But I was interrupting.
All right,
Sorry.
which was the first country to make Bitcoin a legal tender, making it mandatory for all
Ooh.
local businesses to accept payments in Bitcoin?
Saudi Arabia.
You'll never guess this. In 2021, El Salvador.
Canada.
El Salvador.
Really? Wonder why.
In 2021. And then after that, it was the Central African Republic that made it legal tender for Bitcoin.
That's pretty cool.
Isn't that wild?
It is. It truly is.
Yeah.
So,
And
when are you going to
yeah,
start
so
turning all your gold bars into Bitcoin, Donnie?
I think I'm going to hang on to those gold bars because gold is going up.
I mean, the way things are going, I mean, I'm not going to say the name of it, but the university that my two daughters go to, they spent a lot of money putting up solar farms. Great, sustainability, blah, blah, blah. I get it. All the electricity went down this week. So, the reason I'm saying that, not to pick on their school, I'm saying that because, okay, holy crap, Don, Bitcoin's crashing right now. I got to get all my money out as fast as I can. Oh, the electricity's out. Oh my gosh, there's my phone wasn't charged. I was just about to do the transaction. I mean, it's opening up a big can of worms there.
Yeah.
That you might not be able to get to it quick enough to save the bleeding.
I know.
To me, that's just too scary, I mean,
Yeah.
for me,
It's a
I know
risk.
it's not sexy. I know it's not sexy. I know it's not exciting, but I'm telling you, folks, fixed annuities and whole life is so safe right now.
Yeah.
Pretty much you're getting what you're going to get on the insurance end of it. And on a lot of the annuities, that's a fixed rate that you're going to get, meaning if the market takes a poop, it doesn't matter. You're still going to get that. But if the market does better, a lot of them don't even have any ceiling, so they can keep on going and you keep on making money, But think about it. I mean, Bitcoin's a sexy thing right now. Everybody's talking about it. All the younger people are. A lot of older people are like, oh, I want to learn about this. These kids are making this money. I want to know how to do it. But to me, it's not for me. Just because 10 million people like something doesn't mean I have to like it. Don't mean you have to like it. Or, if you like it and I don't like it, that's okay too, But
No, that's true. I think if you
don't do it. You know what I mean?
I think if you follow the very sage advice from Warren Buffett,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his advice is, I mean, you have to know the numbers and the numbers behind the numbers of a specific company. But he's always said he never invests in an industry that he does not understand or does not like.
True.
So, my guess is he doesn't have any Bitcoin.
By the way, I'm using Gemini now. I love it. How much does Warren Buffett own in Bitcoin?
Warren Buffett does not own any Bitcoin directly. He has publicly expressed skepticism about cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, often comparing them to gambling. However, it's important to note that Berkshire Hathaway, the company he leads, has invested in a Brazilian fintech company, New Holdings, which has its own cryptocurrency called Newcoin. While this indirect exposure to cryptocurrencies exists, it's not equivalent to directly owning Bitcoin.
Interesting. Interesting. So let's change the question. How much cryptocurrency does Warren Buffett own?
As of my knowledge, Warren Buffett does not directly own.
See, that's a cop out. He doesn't directly own it, but his companies do.
Well, it sounds like his company, Berkshire Hathaway, sounds like has shares in a company that
Newcoin, never
makes
even heard.
crypto, but he doesn't own specific crypto. That's what it sounded
Tell
like
me
to me.
about Newcoin, Nucoin.
Newcoin. A look at the cryptocurrency. Newcoin, NUC, is a cryptocurrency developed by New Genesis, a blockchain technology company. It was initially designed for government and transnational corporate applications, aiming to address issues like scalability, speed.
Interesting, interesting. So, I mean, cautious money's still getting into it. You know, you got to look at it kind of like that too. You know,
Yeah,
and I get it. Like through our website, you can get Bitcoin, but I'm not going to buy it, and I'm not going to sell it to you. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to have it available for you if that's something you truly want to do.
right,
You know,
right.
because I mean, I am not going to be the ostrich sticking my head in the sand saying, "Oh, I don't understand this whole Bitcoin stuff. I know about that down low. Yeah, I know. I don't trust it. I just don't trust it. You know, it's exotic, smoke and mirrors and stuff like that right there. You know. But I mean, when it, like I said, insurance and annuities aren't sexy, but hell, if you can jump in and you have the wherewithal to do so, you can make a ton of money on Bitcoin. But you can also lose a ton of money on Bitcoin too, just like anything.
Yeah.
I love that Warren Buffett talked about it like going to a casino, like you're gambling.
I know.
You know, I'm all about making it so everybody understands that. You know, 'cause I ain't the smartest man in the world down low, but that's why I got you around, buddy.
Watch out.
I know, right?
Oh my
You know,
goodness.
I have more questions in my head than I have answers, and that's okay because I don't want to just spout off stuff that we don't know about. We're going to learn more and more about this along with you. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
with our listeners, if there was anything that we said wrong today, or anything that you would like to talk about, go to the comment section. Do like my buddy Donnie Lowe always says. What do you say, Donnie?
Ciao.
Oh, I
Oh,
set you up to do the whole sassy Sarah thing, and you totally blew it, dude.
I already said it. Go
Say it again. Say it
hit the
again.
fan mail button.
Did it cost me money having you say it? No, just say it again.
Hit the fan mail button. So send us your comments, your questions, your suggestions, ideas. If we did say something totally off base, let us know. It was not
We know.
intentional.
As soon as we say something wrong, I get all the emails. So,
Yeah, I know.
yes, I'm directly getting them. So, if you have a problem, I'm going to see it. Yes.
Is that
Which
why
is
you
okay.
lost all the hair on the side of your
Yeah.
head?
I know, right? Because it's not. It's from the emails going, shoo, shoo. Every time I get more, it goes higher and higher, Don. Look at you. You got so many emails, all your hair's gone.
Yeah, mine starts at the top. It's the
Oh, I didn't
it's
know
the
that. It makes
reverse
sense now.
mohawk. It's the reverse mohawk.
So I guess the best advice I got for anybody: don't just jump into this just because the other guy's doing.
Yeah.
Well, I heard Donnie Lowe made some good money on that Bitcoin. I'm gonna go try that too.
That's
But
that's
just-
true. Do your research. Do your research. That's the key.
That's the big thing. Be educated.
Yeah.
You don't have to know everything about it, but you got to know enough to make an educated guess on what you're actually going to do.
That's right. That's right.
That's the way
Like I'm sure maybe your parents said the same thing, when you're a little kid. Just because Jimmy's doing it doesn't mean you have to do it. just because Jimmy's jumping off the Peace Bridge doesn't mean that you're going to have to jump off the
And
Peace
like
Bridge
Big
too.
Ed said to me, don't bring shame home to this house, Donnie Lowe. Don't do anything stupid.
That's right. We'll leave it with that.
I know, right? So, well, I really liked the show today. I really didn't know what you were going to come up with. I'm glad you brought up the subject again. And Sarah doesn't want us to become the Bitcoin bashing place, and I don't think we were.
No, just sending out information.
You got to talk about it. If you don't talk about it, you're never going to learn anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So, once again, thank you for joining us. Allie, thanks for answering your dumb dad's question. I appreciate that. But,
wait, are you saying that her dad is dumb, or her dad's question was dumb?
Her dad was smart enough to ask someone that knew.
Well, that's good. So if you phrase it properly, you should have said, thanks for answering your dad's dumb question, not thanks for answering your dumb dad's question.
When you talk about these big numbers, I've never seen that before. Did you ever notice that on a calculator or even on the computer? That's insane, Don, that it couldn't even compute the whole number.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
That's just like...
Crazy.
So, hey, if you want to invest in Insurance Question Podcast, that company with all the money, come on over.
That's right. That's right.
You got enough. You ain't even going to miss it. Give me a mil. You ain't even going to miss it. It's like lunch money, for Christ's sakes, for you guys.
You'll get a nice return on your investment.
Yes. And we'll say nice things about you.
That's right.
So, once again, if you like talking to and working with people that are just like you, we're the people to see. www.ebiagency.com. Our hotline, 716-541-4118. For your buddy Eddie Buffalo and Donnie Lowe. I want to thank you too, Donnie, for bringing up a great subject today. I'm glad we got back to business on Thursdays. Next week we'll do something goofy unless something crazy comes up.
Yeah.
But we're done. We're out of here, Donnie.
All right.
Do your thing. Say your thing. Say your thing.
I could say it again?
Yes.
Ciao.
All right, everybody. Be safe out there. Take care.